Going to take a look at Amazon here on the weekly chart. For this green candle, we're starting in here for the week. It looks like we have a high in here of 183 and a low of 161 so far. Obviously, a big swing in here today. You had the SPY take just a huge drop over the weekend. We popped a little bit at open and then just tanked right back down off of those 480s, really 479, but about 480 level. Popped just a huge rip. And then it came back down, and then we were more or less range bound. I mean, we had a big channel that we were range bound in, but it was pretty much range bound until the end of the day. So that's what we kind of saw throughout the whole market. All these big stocks kind of just that follow the SPY or take up a lot of heavy weight, heavy percentage in the SPY and the Qs. All basically traded with that, did not really trade inversely that much. So huge volatility, obviously, kicking in within those past 3 days because of that. And then that's why you're getting those huge swings, such as today, where an Amazon $175 stock, you got basically a $20 high to low in here just in one trading session on a weekly candle. And it's only been one trading session. So going forward, you can tell exactly how much volatility is going to be juiced in all these premiums, just basically across the board. You have a high VIX. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. So that is always something to keep in mind. But where are we at on the chart here? Well, overall, basically, we have been climbing up, right? The past 2 weeks, we finally broke down of our lower trend line here on these two weekly candles. So we're going to try to climb back up in there. But really, just big tanks on some good volume last week. We're going to see what kind of volume comes in this week. I'm sure the volume will be right up here. I would be surprised if it's not even close. I think the volume is going to be high. Even if it's green, you're just going to get some good volume in here. Completely oversold, basically, on the RSI. Obviously, that's to be expected. But chart wise, 3 weeks ago, we were talking about the 191 level and this 180 here. Obviously, last week broke through all that. So, where does that kind of put us down here? Well, the 160s are going to be a little bit of an area for us, but really the main support that everybody is kind of looking at is going to be this 200 SMA in here. And that's going to be down around that 153 to that 150 area. You can see that was just a good support for us back in, let's see, where are we at here? This is back in August. It was a nice resistance here for us in the previous year in November and December. So that is going to be the main area of support if we do come further down there, which is only about $25 away from where we're currently at. And it looks like what everybody's pricing in is right around a $25 move by May. So that is something to be aware of. And you can see exactly how much volatility has kicked into the market here. So 3 weeks ago, this is your May and your June expected moves in here, that these gray rectangles, right? So you only had really about 210 to about 175. That was your area here. And if you June, you had 213 to right around that 171 area. That was your volatility or what everybody was pricing in, right? Volatility wise. Obviously, this candle and then today's candle expanded all that tremendously. And then now your expected moves are up here currently we're sitting at 200 and 150, so about a $50 high to low. So you can see how much the IV has expanded in here just visually by taking a look at these blue trend lines in here that I marked, and you compare them to the size of the previous gray area in here. So it is much larger than that gray area there. That's how you see how much volatility has expanded in here. Just if you're looking in May, if you go to June, it's even wider. You can see that it's right around a $27 to $28 move is what everybody is pricing in from our current closing price from today. So again, going forward, we are still going to talk about this 180 level in here going forward. We are still going to be looking at the 190s, but really this priced in move here that everybody has in May, that is more what we're concerned about because that is basically giving us a good telling of the IV in here. You are about $40 or 40 days away for this expiration. So keeping an eye on that expiration and not the April is going to give you a better idea of volatility. And if you go to your try to sell a $10 iron condor in this expiration, of 30 Delta iron condor, about $10 wide, you can get around $4.46. So usually you try to get a third of the width of the strikes. That is the goal. And sometimes you come up a little bit short, right? You take what you can, but this is over. This is almost 50% credit, right? So it's about 44% of that width of the strikes rather than that 30% that you usually are going for. So obviously juiced in here, the premiums are relative to itself. So that is something to be kind of concerned about. Support wise, again, we're going to be looking at this 200 SMA as our main support. But until then, we're going to see what areas we're going to be bouncing off of. And today it looked like the 161s did hold. So that kind of look at the 161s, 160 area in Amazon as the SPY's 480, right? So that's your main area to looking at. But really, the SPY wants to go down to 460 for a better support, and then Amazon wants to go down to 150 for better support as well. So there's still some good supports there. Had nice rips off of these supports that we hit in here today, but really, you have much better touch points. You have the 200 SMA down here at 460 on SPY. In Amazon, you have much better touch points. You have the 200 SMA down here at 150 in here on the weekly. So that is more or less what we're looking at. So we'll see how we open tomorrow, if we're going to open down or gapping up, gapping down, what have you. But again, immediate resistance, we're going to look at 180 and then 191. Immediate supports 160. Then we're going to take care of this 150 all the way down here, and huge IV expansion in here. Obviously, that's what's going to happen. So keep an eye on that volatility in your May expirations. And until next time, we'll see what happens in Amazon here on the weekly chart. All right, guys, make sure to check us out on all of our social media. We also have a Discord service if you are interested, and you can find all of our socials in the description below.